Good morning, everyone. For last a couple of days, a news uh, came from Delhi, and that news has caused a quite widespread discussion, critique, and probably you also have heard that is to do with removal of stray dogs from Delhi capital. Now, there are merits on the arguments from the both sides. People who are for the removal of stray dogs from the capital city, from the streets and the local areas, and there are people who are against this order, specifically people from animal rights groups or activists. And as I said, that the merit is there on the both sides. They all have their facts and figures, and even Supreme Court on 11th of this month's judgment sat with that facts and figure. And I'm not saying that those facts and figures are false and fabricated, but the data is always a data. It doesn't show the true picture. It doesn't portray the actual scenario in terms of the events that unfolded in relation to these stray dogs. But this video is slightly, I'm not going to speak for or against, but I'm going to talk about something psychological, that is dehumanization of the society, or dehumanization of the so-called humanity. Now, what is dehumanization? That probably would be the first question. So, the dehumanization is an idea wherein a person loses its ability to empathize, its ability to sympathize, its ability to live in harmony with the nature, and it loses its ability of reciprocity, cooperation, all these qualities, virtues which apparently associated with the notion of humanity. There are plenty of researches to support this, support my argument. But to give you a very simple example, there is a research that demonstrates that if you have a kid, if you have a child who is maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and you think of bringing up your child as a moral citizen, a citizen of promoting and fostering values and ethics, and help him to become compassionate. The only way you do is one of the ways you can do it is if you adopt an animal in your home. It could be a dog, it could be a cat, it could be any other animal that is feasible to that family. And what has come out of this kind of research is that those children, those kids, they become much more social, they become much more compassionate, they exhibit reciprocity, cooperation, and much more resilience in the face of adversity. So if you have, let's say, one kid, there is an inherent genetic component that turns that kid into a bit self-centric individual, a kid or a child who doesn't know how to share, how to cooperate, how to coexist with others. But in that same situation, if you have a child and uh, if you adopt maybe a dog or a cat, the same child would exhibit a great amount of compassion, uh, show reciprocity. So, for instance, if you buy maybe some food article and you give it to this kid, the kid will also give it to this dog or cat, whatever that the family has adopted. So, it learns to share, it learns to care for others, not only caring for its own uh, crave and desires and need. Now, that's at a very micro level uh, analysis and understanding how living with the nature means living in or coexisting with these elements of nature, these dogs, cats, or all these other creatures which are out there. But at a macro level, when you go to the society, since it's very hard to difficult to see through the many layers of complexity, but it is also a fact uh, in the society where take example of probably Japan would be a great example. In Japan, there is a very strict laws in terms of stray animals. So if you do something adverse to them, there is a strong penalty, and also you face serious social criticism for your action. And there, the shops and all the establishments are animal friendly, so animals can go in and out. There is no, as such, provision or because the ethos there is human. We do not own this planet. This planet is owned and shared by all the creatures, all the beings which are out there, and that includes dogs and cats and all these species as well. Now, definitely, these are construed as philosophical or some sort of seen as ideological bracket. Uh, Again, those are perceptions, and I wouldn't go on defending those because it has more to do with your perception and your understanding of human psychology, the social psychology, and all that. And not many people are intellectually that able to see through all these complex layers of understanding or able to reflect through all these different layers of social fabric. So definitely the easy one is to go with the common and mundane criticism. Now, one might ask a question in terms of these incidents. Definitely, these are not something that we hope, but again, there is a question that also one should reflect that when these animals they attack, there is a question whether they were attacked first or not, or who was rather attacked first. That becomes a question because there are many videos that often we see online wherein we would see kids beating street animals or even adults we have seen doing horrible things with these street animals. Loud music, like loud noise, they often scare these animals, and they become agitated or violent often. And then also there is a question of accountability of the government. What government has done, the efficacy of their policies and their implementation. All these things also needed to be, or at least Apex Code should have looked into before prematurely going ahead and passing a decision. Because what the Apex Court has said that all these animals should be moved to the animal shelter home. Now, I do not know what Supreme Court thinks or believe in terms of the facilities and the infrastructure these animal shelters have, but those animals, I mean, sending them to those animal center or sending them to butcher house, I don't think would make any difference. If those animal could speak, I think they would say that, well, do not send us to these animal shelters. Rather, you either shoot us or probably send us to some animal butchery where we could be, at least we would have a painful death rather than years of suffering, pain, and torture. So that's my reflection and thought on the Supreme Court judgment with regards to this Supreme Court's move or decision with regards to these stray animals, dog particularly. Let me know what you think about it. Thank you.